vote. You still have about an hour left after the polls close. But, do it online. It might be better because you want to watch this podcast. But anyway, Steve Baker, Coach Rob Deck here for the Clearviewmedia Sports Podcast. And we are in week 3, going into week 3, I guess, of the playoffs for high school football. Let's jump right into it, guys. Region 1, Eds, we all expected that to happen. Coach gets to gloat a little bit against Chris and I here with the Ignatius win over Cleveland Heights. Coach, walk us through what happened there.
Ignatius was behind, right?
Yeah.
First, so.
They were behind big. Chris, what was the score?
It was 42 to 14.
42-14. And I called it. I told you. I went with Coach, and Coach came through, man. When you got a legend, he took him in at halftime, broke it down, what I'm thinking, got in him, and he probably gave him a sad story like, hey, this is my last game, guys. This how y'all going to let me go out? So those guys probably came out and they nailed it. But I think special teams would help them get back into the game, and Heights, they was there. They had it, and they let it slip right through their hands.
They had it big. It's just so frustrating to know that I picked Heights, and I was really wanting Heights to pull that upset off. But congratulations to Ignatius. Way to stay with it, and it's really going to be sad when their coach retires because it's the end of an era. Steve and I were just talking about on the way here. Mentor just had their coach retire a couple of years ago, so a lot of change happening in the city of Cleveland as far as the big-time programs go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you bring up Mentor. Mentor, yes, their coach retired a couple years ago. They have a new coach, but they're still in the playoffs, and they're going up against Medina. And Chris, I know you had something about that as well.
Well, interesting matchup here. This is Medina's second time meeting with Mentor this year. They beat them last time, 52-38. That was in week 7. But this is also Medina's third time playing the same opponent twice. Now, they've played Wadsworth twice, beat them by at least 45 points in each game. They beat Strongsville twice, 56-35, 42-7. And let's not forget, Medina's only loss this season was to Avon, who's still in it, by 1 point. So, and then you got Mentor. Mentor, of course, Mentor beat McKinley twice this year. 34-21 and 19-14 last time. A little closer, but still an impressive win. They beat Ignatius 26-20. They beat Brunswick twice. So these are two teams that not only have played each other, but are familiar with having to play the same opponent twice, and that gives you a real competitive edge heading to the playoffs.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Region 2. I'm sorry, not Round 2. Region 2.
Round 2.
You had Dublin Jerome get knocked off by Liberty. Powell Olentangy Liberty knocks off the number 1 seed there in Region 2, going against Perrysburg this week. That's your only really big surprise there in that one. Do you guys have anything else on those games coming up? Liberty and Perrysburg, Springfield and Centerville.
Well, it's a real shock that Jerome got beat. I think we all had Jerome going far in this bracket. They're the number 1 seed. Perrysburg's the number 4 seed. I could see them and Liberty having a really good game, but I'm thinking Perrysburg's probably going to take the region now that Jerome's been knocked out.
I disagree. I'm going with Springfield, and I picked Springfield to go to the Final Four, and I also picked Springfield to win the Division I championship. They're gonna beat my team.
Okay.
Wow.
Gonna be the shocker.
Not St. Ed's.
No, I'm
Or
going
not not Moeller.
Upper Arlington.
I ain't got it in this notes, but my previous notes I got them.
Okay.
All right.
And I guess the other interesting thing is Springfield and Centerville rematch. We found that a lot during our brackets going through them. There's a lot of rematches this round. Springfield played Centerville on 10-7. Springfield won that game 38-10. So now, again, they have a chance to play Centerville again. Centerville's probably coming in going, all right, we lost to them last time about a month ago. Now we have our chance for our revenge. Can we make it happen? So that's another interesting storyline there.
Is this the region we were talking about where this team beat that team, which also beat this team, which came back to beat this team earlier in the season?
There's a couple of those that we found that we were like, wait,
these
what?
brackets really hard.
Yeah.
This bracket, Region 1, is going to be real tough. And the reason why I went with Springfield, they went to the state championship last year. They was the runner-ups. So, and they really didn't lose much. They gained, and so that's why I went with them. And I got to, I believe in them.
Yeah.
You know, they're a great
That's
team.
a good reason to go with them.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
played Eds last year. Was that the championship game? Okay.
Yep.
This is also Centerville's. Sorry, looking back at my notes, it's their second rematch in the playoffs already. They've already had one. This is now their second. Also, Springfield's only loss was to Fairmount, which is a team that they had beaten 21-0 last week.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
They lost.
so they've already revenged their loss, and now can Centerville revenge their loss? Is the question. So, and Coach says no. All right, so we have Gahanna Lincoln and Bradley, and then Pickering Central and Pickering North. Or sorry, against Pickering and Central. Central beat North last week, which we all I think expected to happen. But now Gahanna Lincoln plays Pick Central.
It's a close game though.
Yeah.
Went by touchdown.
The last time these two teams played, the Gahanna Lincoln's only lost this season. Gahanna Lincoln has one loss by 10 points. It is a rematch against Central, who lost by 2 last time.
Right.
Now the crazy part is Pickering Central has 3 losses on the year, but they're all by 10 points combined. So they lost 3 games by 10 points. Gahanna Lincoln lost 1 game by 10 points.
That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
So, yes, they have more losses, but it's by the same number of points.
Yeah, and for that reason, I went pick Central.
I did as well.
I think they play the close games. They're used to it. If Lincoln gets into a close matchup with this team, I think Central can pull it out.
Do you have the points for and against for that one?
For which team?
For Central.
Central, they've scored 344 points this season. They've only allowed 110. That is one of the biggest
I'm going to go ahead and
deviations. Okay. That's not a bad. They've scored 400 points this year.
So, yeah, Upper Arlington, they're playing New Albany. That should be a good game. Those are both close to each other. That's going to be a good one there as well. Anybody got anything on that one?
I'm ready for it. That's all I got to say.
All right. Region 4. And before we started today, Coach kind of looked at me like I was crazy. But Moeller and Mason are playing each other. I took Mason.
I'll be like you.
Right. I took Mason only because I've been rolling with him since the beginning. And, I just had to. I had to take him, stay with Mason on that one. As the other half, you have Elder and Lakota West. And Coach doesn't know this yet, but I went Lakota West on that one.
I went Lakota West as well. Lakota West, they look good. They're 10-0.
I went with Elder.
And part of the reason why I went Lakota over Elder in this,
We actually have a reason.
statistician that I am.
Okay.
Elder has 334 points this year, give up 189. Lakota 443, only get up 92.
I'm going with the Spears.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's fine, but
Elder is the grandfather, the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
so you want to see Elder and Moeller go at it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope, especially for
For Cincinnati,
That's
yeah.
the biggest. But that Lakota Elder game will be at Jake Sweeney Auto Stadium on Friday.
All right.
And where's the Moeller Mason game at?
Burnitz in Middletown.
Gotcha. All right. All right, here we go, Coach. Ready? Hope St. V, Region 5. Go ahead, take that one. No, he's like, I'm out. Go ahead, take that one.
Woo! Let's go, baby. Wait, let me see. How can I put this? This is the holy war that we all been waiting for. I made a call to my good friend Marcus, who's the deputy AD at the University of Akron. As soon as this game was over, I said, you guys got to bid for this game. This game could not be played nowhere but there. You cannot let this game get out of our backyard.
Right.
And I'm glad they worked it out. Whatever logistics they had to go through, they made it happen. You know, you got 2 good teams. They're going to come out swinging. You know, the first game was a great game.
Yeah.
You know, they went at it first quarter. Second half, here come Mr. Lamar Spurlin. Speaking of Lamar,
I say, give us something on him.
this young man is almost at 3,000 yards already.
Wow.
He's almost at 3,000 yards. This young man got 2,658 yards and 41 touchdowns already. Now, just imagine if this kid doesn't get Mr. Ohio football, it's going to be a riot in this city.
So he did get something this week after the game, though, correct? You want to share with us what he got there?
He's Fox 8 Player of the Year. Congratulations, Lamar. This young man is very humble. This young man he does it right. He just does it the right way. And you know, just to touch a little, try to quick base. Fox 8 put a tweet out there. Then a young man out there, you know, some yo-yo, he put a tweet out of Lamar because Lamar had a picture up there with him and his mom and the yo-yo. I ain't gonna put him on blast, make him famous. We got him enough. We got him enough. Gonna say here's another kid that father. However, I don't want to say what he said, but he said like a fatherless kid, and that kind of hurt Lamar. So Lamar's response was, I would like to say thank you. Then he tagged his father in it. And he said, Dad, look. So Dad responded with a decent response. He said, well, sir, I can't be at everything and every award that Lamar gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
He said, I have to go to work 12 hours to make sure Lamar can eat and have clothes on his back.
Yeah.
Lamar eats a lot on Friday nights, though.
So, in saying that, that just shows the character of Lamar and the family and his upbringing. And you know, but to that young man who put that post out, that adult, you never know what a kid's situation is because you may look at a picture and that picture may not be as what you think it is. So stop stereotyping people just because of what you see and what you don't know. Pick up the book and read it.
Absolutely.
But again, back to the game.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. You know, Lamar's doing it the right way. I've had a chance to meet the young man. He's very humble, and he's just out there playing football, doing his thing. And I mean, he also won Homecoming King.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not just he's great in the classroom. He's great on the field, and he's a great overall kid. So, congratulations to Lamar. The other side of the bracket, you have Riverside and Hudson, which Chris and I are actually going to that game. So, Chris, go ahead and take that game away.
Oh, boy, can't wait. Hudson's undefeated. They've been great all year. This is kind of a big game for me in the sense that, I went to Kent, so I know I had a lot of friends who were from Hudson. And, I'm from Geneva, so I have a lot of friends who are from Riverside. So this is a big game for me. It's my first high school game I've been able to go to in a really long time because I always work on Friday nights. But I guess let's get to the numbers here. Riverside won, beat Nordonia last week 62-28. They didn't come to play around. They came to play football and to take it to them and to put a hurting on them. Hudson, however, beat Walsh 34-7. Hudson's defense looks good. They only get 113 points this year. However, Riverside has scored over 500 points this year. Their offense is rolling right now. And that game in Maple Heights that we will be at, Steve, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And the fact that, Coach and our producer here, Vert, are going to the Hoban game. We're going to Riverside Hudson. So it'll be cool to kind of see both sides get us ready for next week's game, whoever wins those games. I think it's going to be Hoban and Riverside, though.
Me too.
That's what you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm with y'all.
All right.
You're not going Hudson? You're not going
You're not
Hudson?
taking Hudson on that one?
No.
All right, here we go. Coach is going to be mad because I don't know why I did it, but I did it anyways. Avon Olmsted Falls. I took Avon. Highland, Toledo Central Catholic. I took Highland, Medina Highland. I told you wasn't going to be happy. Chris, you want to tell us why I took Highland, though? Because we talked about this for a little bit. How many points did Highland give up this season?
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay, so of all the teams we looked at in these playoffs, Highland's only given up 64 points this year. And they've been playing teams like North Olmsted. They've been playing teams like Medina.
Yeah.
I mean, Twinsburg probably. 548 points they're putting up. They've just been blowing out teams all year, and they've been so strong all season. They've been so strong. They had to put them in a different region, just so they wouldn't have to play Walsh, St. V, Hoban right away.
How many points is Toledo Central Catholic giving up?
94.
So not crazy. But I know you love Toledo Central Catholic. I know, but
that game will be in Sandusky, so it will be closer to Toledo probably than Highland.
Well, I think it's going to be a great game. I think this game going to be probably decided by 3 points.
Could be.
And it can go either way, and I battle with it. But since I stuck with Toledo early,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
stay
stay
with
with
them.
Toledo.
Yeah. Chris has that leader in his bracket. We'll get to that.
I'm
Who
going
y'all got between Olmsted Falls and Avon?
Avon.
Avon.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah, you got them too. I know you do. All right.
I
Here
like
we go.
Olmsted Falls. The game will be in Strongsville, but I still
Yeah.
have to go with Avon.
All right, so we have Massillon and Big Walnut. Big Walnut escaped Pataskala this past week. Massillon won 34-0 against Canal Winchester. And so Massillon plays Big Walnut. I'm going to take Massillon there. And then Uniontown Lake and Westerville South play. Both of them had a tougher game than they probably should have. But I'm going to take Westerville South in that one.
Yeah, me too. I think Westerville South just looks better. They won 27-21 over North Canton. Uniontown Lake has been pretty good all year. I mean, they've just been consistently good all year, except for last week when they almost got beat. So I'm going to have to go with Westerville South on that one.
What do you got, Coach?
Westerville South. I'm right with you, brother.
Oh, and Massillon.
And Massillon,
And
obviously,
Massillon.
yeah. All right,
Sure.
Region 8. Chris's new favorite team, the Kingsmill Kings, or
Oh, I love these
whatever
guys.
it is.
Kingsmill Kings.
Playing Winton Woods. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Chris, what do you got numbers there for that one?
Numbers for this one. Oh, you caught me on the spot. I don't know.
He's calling for upset. I bet you he's calling for upset.
Am I calling for upset in this one? Kingsmill
If it
Kings.
happens, you're calling for upset. I'll let them tell you.
I don't
I'll
have the
let them
numbers
tell
for
you.
You don't
They're
have
calling
them?
I don't
for
have
upset, Bert.
I did not pick Kings this time.
I did.
Actually did go Winton Woods.
I told you.
okay.
I told you. I'm one of those people that's like, you know what? Just do it because it's fun for me. I actually think when we did this, I told Chris, I said, there's no money on the line, so I'm going with Kingsmill Kings. What's my actual words on that one?
The underdog.
I like the underdog.
I like it. I mean, they not bad. You know, they got a great record. You know,
Kingsmill Kings. They're 9-1.
I think so. I think the reason I went with them is the fact that Winton Woods played Ross and it was 34-21. Ross being the 9 seed, where Kingsmill Kings played Withrow, and that was a 4-5 game and won at 49-28.
yeah.
That's what I just looked at the margin of victory there, and I was like, okay.
Okay. I mean, I agree with that.
So that's why I did that one. The other one is Cincinnati Anderson, which again, both that game last week against Little Miami, both of them not expected to be there. Cincinnati Anderson going against Trenton. I have Trenton winning that one.
I have Trenton winning this one. Interesting side note about this game: it'll actually be played at Little Miami Stadium. So had Little Miami won last week,
They'd be at home.
they could be at home. They'd be at home, which we already know is a situation this week.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Coach, take Region 9 for us.
All right. Region 9, Division 3. We got the defending champs, Chardon, at 10-1 versus Chagrin. Did I say that? Falls. Kingston.
Yeah.
Y'all call it Kingston.
Kingston.
Kingston. Let me say it right. Kingston. Right. At Boardman Stadium at 9-3. So I went with Chardon that game. And then you got Youngstown Ursuline at 10-2 versus Canfield at 10-1 at Niles McKinley Stadium. I picked Youngstown Ursuline in that region.
I also picked
I have both
Ursuline.
those.
So I'm on the same page with y'all.
You know, I picked Kenston to lose twice already this playoffs.
What?
I picked them to lose to University, and I picked them to lose to Cheney. And they just keep winning. It hurts me to have to say this, but I'm going to pick Chardon. I have to pick.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Kenston.
So did I.
I like them. They're playing tough, but I got to go with Chardon. No,
Chris-
my new favorite team's in this bracket.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yes.
I think I know who it is here. But let's go with Region 10. I'll let you take it since your favorite team's here.
All right. Well, Holy Name looks good. They win again. 2010. They're going up against Mansfield Senior, 16-0 last week. You know, this game's at Brunswick Automark Stadium, not too far from Holy Name, not too far from Mansfield. I'm gonna go Mansfield in this one.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you went with
I'm
it.
picking the upset this time. I'm going Mansfield. Now, the second half of the bracket, this is my new favorite team, Parma Padaway, find a way to pull off upset after upset in the playoffs. They won 35-7 against Medina Buckeye, 32-28 against Tiffin last week. Now they go up against Norton, North Worldton, Serpentini Stadium. However, I'm going to go Norton.
Wait, hold on. Where's this game played?
Serpentini.
Isn't that a car dealership?
It is.
Okay, and where's Holy Name Mansfield played?
Brunswick Auto Mart.
Oh, so another car dealership.
We
Got
also
it.
had one
Great.
in Cincinnati.
Great. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Who's gonna win the car?
So if you want to, like Chris and I made the joke, if you want to see a good football game and you need a car, this is your bracket.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Norton and Mansfield Senior.
Wait, hold on. But Parma Padua is your favorite team.
I know, and I hope they win. I really do. I'm pulling. I picked Norton. I'm pulling for Padaway, but for the sake of the bracket, I gotta stick with who I think is gonna win. That's Norton.
Yeah, so while we're going through these, if you have some feedback or you want to tell Coach how crazy he is, you want to tell Chris how crazy he is, I'm not crazy, I swear. No, I pick all the upsets. But if you want to touch in on that, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll check that as we go, and we'll talk with you there.
One more side note, the reason why I had to pick Norton over Padaway. Norton's only given 15 points in the playoffs so far.
Total.
And they beat Bay Village 35-2
That's right.
in the first round.
That's right. All right, cool. Regional 11, Sheridan taking on Bloom Carroll. Sheridan blew out Washington 60-34. Carroll won 20-7. And this one, I'm going to take Bloom Carroll to win.
I took Bloom Carroll as well.
I also took Bloom Carroll. Sheridan played a lot of close games this year. They had losses to Pataskala, but they had a win over Tri-Valley, only 14-3. Who Carroll just beat in the previous round, 20-7. So one of the reasons why I'm going to go Carroll over Sheridan.
Absolutely.
And that game will be in Lancaster.
Jackson taking on Bishop Watterson. I took Jackson there. Coach was like, I don't know, but I took Jackson.
I took Bishop Watterson.
Oh, okay.
I took Jackson as well.
I'm a lone soldier on that one.
So Hamilton taking on Wapakoneta. As much as I want Wapakoneta to win, only so we can say we have a game for Wapakoneta versus Tippecanoe, because I think that'd be fun. I took Hamilton on that one. And then we have Western Brown taking on Tippecanoe. I took Tippecanoe.
I took Hamilton in that first game, and I took Tippecanoe in the second.
I also took Hamilton in the first game and then Tippecanoe in the second game.
As we get further on in the playoffs, it sounds like we're starting to get back on the right track here. Here we go. Region 13. I'll let you take the first half.
we debated on this team
all year.
Yeah, and each week they bring it. They come in. Coach B. Brian Williams, he got these guys playing at an all-time high. They were seed 13, and they're going up against the number 1 team, West Branch. Now, we're going to be in the house for that game, and you got to look for Mr. Boyce, who's having a great year. I think it's J.T. James is having a great year. Mr. Cherish is having a great year, and Mr. Gable's having a great year. He got 6 interceptions on the year.
Wow.
Then you also have on the other side of the ball, you got A. Perry. He's having an excellent year, Mr. Perry, West Branch. This game is going to be real good. It's going to be close at first. Until the kids figure each other out. Boothville has a solid defense, but they're going against a great offense. But I think the Boothville defense can really hold it down. The offense is going to have to wake up. You know, Boothville got a shifty back. Real quick, he can hit the holes real good, get outside. They got great speed. They got decent size. So I'm going with Akron Bookdale.
Coach, you mentioned Bookdale's defense. They only got 14 points last week to Canal Fulton. However, West Branch put up 54 points last week. So you going with Bookdale? I'm going with Bookdale. You say Bookdale's defense is going to hold them to?
I think Bookdale got a solid defense. Their defense is real solid. They've been proven this year. The offense is what struggled throughout the whole year. Mm-hmm. I think this week was probably one of the biggest points they put up in the non-league
31.
Yeah, 31.
I'm talking about non-league, not in the city. They put up decent points in the city, but non-league play, they didn't score that
yeah.
much, you know. But this lets me know they may be at that point.
Right on. I hope so.
So I took Buchtel in this half as well. In the other half of the bracket, that's actually the game that I'll be at. So we didn't actually plan that. It just kind of happened where the games that we covered are just the two that might meet next week. But it's Jefferson versus Canton South. Now, I know Canton South put up 56 points last week against the number 2 team, and that's in Lisbon. However, I picked Jefferson to win this one. Coach Hanna, again, I know him well. He has that team ready to play. Again, we talked about it before. He has the slogan BTC, be the change. Again, Jefferson won their first ever playoff game this year, hosted a playoff game. They went on the road to Girard to a team that they lost pretty big to the first time they played. They ended up winning this one 26-20 in Girard. Now they're the higher seeded team coming into this matchup actually against Canton South. And again, Canton South putting up 56 points, but they also gave up 48 points. And are they maybe have a little bit of that hangover feel against beating the number 2 team in that region? And I'm going to take Jefferson. Grant Hitchcock, the quarterback, he does it all. He can run. He can get out and play receiver. 2 games this year, he had a little bit of a shoulder injury. They moved into receiver. He had 130 yards one game and 160 the other as a wide receiver. And he also plays defense. This kid does it all. And I think Coach Hanna is going to have this team ready to go. And we're going to see Jefferson Buchtel in the regional final here.
It's surprising that Jefferson has only been in the playoff one time before this year. This is their first time hosting a playoff game. They're looking at their 3rd straight playoff win this week.
Their 3rd ever playoff win.
Their 3rd ever.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, Steve. I think they can beat Canton South. I think Canton South, that defense scares me. Jefferson's offense, it's not this high-flying, high-powered offense, but it's consistent. And that's what I got to give Coach Hanna credit for.
Yeah. Who you got on that one, Coach?
Hey, man, I'm going with Jefferson.
All
man.
right.
Oh, he's rolling with them. We're with the Falcons. Let's go.
Ashtabula County.
Hey, and
us
like
proud.
I said, Coach Hanna, he's super busy, but he's got this team ready, and it's awesome to see. And for these kids, for this community that Jefferson is, there's a lot of support there, and keep it rolling.
Good luck.
All right, Region 14, Glenville, going against Elyria Catholic here. Glenville's just rolling, steamboating teams. Killing them. Chris, what's the points for and against there for Glenville?
I don't have their points for.
No, you don't have it. All
I
right,
know
cool.
it's a lot. Their points against is 49. All right, let's just start there.
That's my champion.
Just last week they won 43-6.
Yeah.
Remember, this team had 6 straight shutouts to finish the season, and their only loss is to. Wait, Avon's only loss is to Glenville.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that says a lot.
That says a lot. And so they're going against Elyria Catholic, another Cleveland area team. This game will be in North Ridgeville. I don't see any reason why Glenville's going to lose.
Yeah, I have Glenville as well. No offense to Elyria Catholic,
anybody else.
No,
Glenville's good.
they just good. They
the best.
got 11 Power 5 kids on their team. And
Right.
Wow.
They solid.
It's time for Coach Glenn to get his.
Yeah.
Get his first.
Yeah, it's time for him to get it for sure.
Isn't Ginn Jr. one of their coaches too? Isn't he
Yeah.
the receivers coach or something?
Ginn Jr. there. And then last time that Glenville had a powerhouse team like this, Ted Jr. was on that team.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Troy Smith.
Yeah.
So this team reminds me a lot of that team.
Dante Whitner.
Yeah, Dante Whitner. So this team is just as powerful as that team.
Yeah.
And they loaded. And you got 2 or 3 guys being looked at by Ohio State.
Right.
So it's the pipeline to Ohio State continue.
Oh yeah.
Millersburg playing Van Wert. Van Wert upset Sandusky Perkins. Chris is not happy with that one. 29-22 on that game. I have Millersburg taking that one.
Yeah, I got West Holmes beating Van Wert. I'm very unhappy about Perkins. They were a team I was high on all season, but
I got West Holmes as well.
good job, Van Wert.
All right. We're going to kind of run through these because we got some other stuff to talk about. If there's anything that stands out, we can come back to it.
Yes, sir.
Bishop Ready playing Indian Valley. Bishop Ready, they upset Claresville 24-21. So I don't know if it was the last-second field goal, but it sounds like it was there. I have Indian Valley taking out Bishop Ready. Steubenville playing Columbus East. I have Steubenville. I think they're going to end up winning that region.
I agree. I have Indian Valley as well as Steubenville, but I've been high on Steubenville all the whole postseason. I can't go back on them now.
I got Indian Valley and Steubenville as well.
All right.
All right. Region 16, Wyoming, 35-0 over Shawnee. Clinton Massey upsets Urbana. Taft beats Alter by 2, and Eaton throws up a big 0 against McNicholas. I'm sorry. I have Wyoming and Taft moving on here.
I have Wyoming and Taft. Also, Taft and McNichols will be played at Jake Sweeney Automotive in Cincinnati.
Oh, the same stadium. We've already heard that.
So, once
I
again,
have Wyoming and I have Taft. They just, continue what the basketball left off. First state championship. So go ahead, Taft. Make history again.
Yeah.
I think they get to the Final Four as well.
Let's do it. South Range playing Cardinal Mooney this week, and Sugar Creek playing Perry. Chris is going to roll with Cardinal Mooney. I'll answer it for him. He picked them to be the state champs here. And Sugar Creek playing Perry. I picked South Range, by the way. Sugar Creek is playing Perry. I picked Perry to take that one.
I picked Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. This is a 13-ranked team, and I'm with
Here's your
Chris.
Cinderella.
I think, there it is. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think they're going to be the Cinderella team. I think they're going to be the team to beat out of this region and probably be the Region 5 champs.
I picked, like I said, Mooney to win the state championships. I gotta stay with him. South Range looks good though. That's a tough decision there. But I gotta go with Perry also. Remember, Perry only lost 2 games this year. One was to Kirtland, one was to Riverside.
Yeah.
However, one of their biggest wins of the season was Kenston, who we were talking about. They beat them 60-32. Perry is probably I think is probably the best team in Division 5. But I can't wait to see a Perry Mooney matchup. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see if we get it.
Who you got there, Sugar Creek or Perry?
Sugar Creek.
Ooh, all right. Why? Do you know why, or just you want to?
I just had a feeling. It's just like Sugar Creek has been playing real solid.
They're undefeated.
They are.
And I like Perry, but I think, Perry's been the big bad wolf in the past. It's time for someone else out of that area to come out. And Sugar Creek has been proving itself for the past few years. They've been building that program and building their team.
Yeah.
I think I'll give them the nod.
That's fair. So Liberty Center and Coldwater in Region 18 versus Elmwood and Oak Harbor. We'll just throw them out there. Liberty Center and Elmwood for me.
I'm going Liberty Center, and I'm going Eastwood.
Did I see Elmwood?
Elmwood.
Nah. Permerville.
Oh, Pemberville. Okay.
But it's Eastwood.
Gotcha. Yeah. My fault.
I didn't say the full name.
You're good. I was like, wait, what?
I
Chris,
didn't
who
go
do
to
you got
Elmwood.
there?
I didn't go to Elmwood. You went to Elmwood?
I did.
I'm going Liberty Center and Elmwood as well.
Oh.
All right. So
I don't know much about the Indian ones.
yeah, right. Region 19, Ironton playing Portsmouth West. This game we have something interesting. Chris, where's this game being held at?
This game is being played at Portsmouth's Clark Athletic Facility.
Weird.
That is weird, considering it's supposed to be a neutral site game. Now, I mean, I was just looking up some stuff about this athletics facility. It's a really nice, brand new, redone thing in the city of Portsmouth. It's got new football stadiums, got new baseball fields. So it's a really nice place, perfect place to have a playoff game. However, you're hosting your own team there, so there is the bias there. I'm still going Ironton.
I'm still going Ironton, too. Portsmouth won 21-0 against Columbus Academy in Gahanna there. Great. Ironton won 48-7 against Portsmouth.
And that's your state championship.
And it's my state championship.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
I'm going to Ironton as well.
And then you have Harvest Prep taking on Wheelersburg. I'm going to take Harvest Prep.
I'm taking Harvest Prep as well.
Me too.
All right. Region 20. We have Germantown taking on Madeira. I got Germantown there. We have West Milton, taking on Brookville. I took West Milton.
I got Germantown and Brookville.
I got Madeira and Milton.
Okay.
Oh, we got different brackets
So
all around.
everyone's got something different there. Here you go, Region 6. Kirtland taking on Dalton. Mogador taking on Cuyahoga Heights. Kirtland's going to take this one. I think it'd be a pretty easy win for them.
Yeah.
Mogador taking on Cuyahoga Heights. Just to be different, I took on Cuyahoga Heights.
Now, this game is, of course, I took Mogador. I love Mogador. I'm from, like I said, went to Kent. However, this game, Mogador, Cuyahoga Heights played in Twinsburg. A little bit closer to Mogador than it is to Cuyahoga Heights. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, it's right down the street.
It's right down the street.
It is.
I took Kirtland and Mogador. That's what.
All right. That's
Like I said, I had to be different.
I might try to get next Friday out for that game.
Crawford taking on Columbus Grove in Region 22. Crestview taking on Columbia Station. Crawford. I have Columbus Grove and Columbia Station on those. Both, I believe, are both upsets.
Those are the same two teams I have in that bracket as well.
I got Columbus Grove and Crestview now.
Okay.
All right. Fort Fry taking on Dawson Bryant. Fort Fry, by the way, won 71-20. It's a pretty big win. I'm taking Fort Fry there. And then Nelsonville York playing Bel Air. I took York.
I took Fort Fry and I took York.
That's the same bracket I have.
All right, Region 24. We're going to slow it down a second. Talk about this bracket real fast, this region. The scores this week for the second round of the playoffs are ridiculous. Chris, I'll let you go ahead and take them. You want to read those scores off?
Okay, so we had Marion and we had West Liberty. Oh, no, we have Marion and...
Yeah.
Right, okay. Marion and West Liberty. Marion won 56-0.
It's a close game.
And then we had Versailles versus Valley South. Versailles won 58-7.
Also close.
Okay, we had East taking on Paint Valley.
Bainbridge, yeah.
49-0. And then finally we had Madison against Cincinnati Country Day, 49-7.
Which was the closest game of the
Which was
entire
the
bracket.
closest game in the bracket.
Just throw that out
It's
there.
going to be a high score
Only,
bracket.
only by 40,
This is a high score
only
bracket.
42 points.
Yeah, yeah.
Closest game of the bracket. So obviously you have Marion taking on Versailles. I have Marion winning that one, and you have Allen East taking on New Madison. Tri-Village, I have New Madison taking that one.
Yeah, I got Allen East winning. Then I got Marion, which will be played in Wapakoneta
Who you got?
at Ford Field.
I have Marion Local and I got Tri-Village.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Region 25, you have JFK taking on Salineville, and you have Lucas taking on Danville. I took the upset here as well, because why not? Salineville beating JFK, and then Lucas playing Danville. I took Lucas.
I took JFK and I took Danville.
So did you pick JFK to win the Division 7 state championship?
I don't know.
Well, I did. So I got to go JFK and Danville.
No, I think I took Marion. I don't know. I don't know who I took.
Gotta go back in your bracket.
I'm going to go have to watch
I got to
the
go
tape
back
tonight.
and check it again. I don't know.
Just so when he says something about JFK next week, I'm like, see?
Yeah, they're your
Our
favorite.
brackets, though. We pretty much accurate almost.
You've seen all the notes on my bracket.
I didn't bust my bracket.
Oh, my bracket's busted. That's all right, though. So Macomb taking on Lima. Antwerp taking on Gibsonburg. Macomb and Antwerp are my winners there.
Me too.
I got McCombs and Antwerp.
There we go. Newark Catholic playing Waterford. Hannibal River playing Caldwell. I'm sorry. Newark Catholic and Caldwell are my winners on that one.
I have Newark Catholic, who won 35-0 last week. They're still on a roll. And then I have Caldwell, who, interesting enough, only lost Fort Fry, 44-7.
I got Newark Catholic and I got Caldwell.
All right. And then Region 28, we have Ansonia taking on New Bremen and Fort Laramie taking on Minster. I'm going to take Ansonia, and I'm going to take Minster in this one.
All right. I'm going to take Ansonia. I'm going to take Fort Laramie. Just remember, between Fort Laramie and Minster, this is a rematch from earlier in the season where Fort Laramie won 36-24, so that's why I got to go with them this time.
I'm taking Anderson, and I'm going to take Fort Lemia.
All right, so there it is. So that's our high school playoffs. We have a lot of other things to talk about. That's high school. Again, next week we'll have our regional finals set up, so that'll be good. Let's talk a little bit about college football. We kind of have been doing this like progression here, so let's keep it going. Let's talk first about some 80-mile-an-hour winds or whatever it was at Northwestern.
No. I took a lot of flack on social media this week. Let me tell you, know-it-all something. If you got to go in and change your whole game plan because you can't pass the ball, I mean, the ball actually sat in the air at a standstill. How can you have a good offensive attack, and you can't even pass the ball. When y'all can run the ball, okay.
We had over 200 yards rushing, just so you know.
Yeah, 200 yards rushing. Plus,
C.J. Stroud, sorry, not
Go ahead.
C.J. Stroud, who had -4 rushing yards coming into this game, had like 64 yards rushing.
Now he has 60.
Now he has 60 on the year, yeah.
yeah. I mean, we got the, and you know he don't run. He don't run. So he has 64 yards. So all you negative people who want to call us suck eyes, we got the W. Understand that. And then can't no team play in those type of conditions. I don't care who you are.
I agree. And I got a lot of flack this week too by somebody who had just wanted to run his mouth the whole day about it. Oh, they only won by 14. They should.
We won.
That's what I said. They scored 21 straight points. The only time Northwestern even scored was on the very first drive. That's it. After that, it was Ohio State the rest of the game. The one criticism I do have about Ohio State this game is early in the game, it seemed like when you knew you couldn't pass the ball, they still kept trying to force it when they should have just been running the ball from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It took them a while to figure that out, but once they got that going, they were fine.
I agree, but again, like Coach said, when you can't throw the ball, that's what Ohio State's known for, is how good they are at passing the ball. So they're going to try to go to their strength and see if they can make it work, and then they realize very quickly this isn't working.
Listen, we got the top receivers in the country. We got Mr. Harrison. You trying to tell me our receivers couldn't dominate it, Northwestern's defensive backs? Come on, man. Come on, man. November 23rd. Just get ready. Get ready. Indiana, you on the clock.
I guess speaking of which, we should move on to that game, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to that game.
I would be there.
Michigan and Maryland?
Yeah. Yes, Maryland isn't a great team. Michigan won.
No, it was Rutgers.
Rutgers, you're right.
Okay.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
It's the same team.
But then again, they like, oh, man, dude, we dominated Rutgers. They struggled with Rutgers.
They struggled in the first half.
First half was close.
And just like our our friends that are Michigan fans,
but they struggled. They struggled.
They're going to be like, oh, Ohio State struggled against Northwestern in the first half. That's going to be their argument. And yes, okay, we struggled against Northwestern and 80-mile-an-hour winds. Michigan, however, didn't have the 80-mile-an-hour winds to fight with. They just had Rutgers. So, yes, you won. Congratulations. But anyway, let's move on to something that people actually care about.
Yeah.
Oregon, let's do some top 25. You know we're going to get a phone call.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get fired, man. And I was with my homeboy, right? He draped in Michigan gear.
Oh, yeah.
We had an event the other day. I'm sitting next to this dude. I said, oh, my God.
So, top 25, Oregon State lost against Washington, 24-21.
That was a good game. I was at the bar watching that game.
TCU, who, in my opinion, might get that number 4 seed after this weekend, which we'll find out in about 15 minutes when those polls drop. They beat Texas Tech. Ohio State, we talked about. UNC, number 17, beat Virginia, 31-28. Tulane tops Tulsa, 27-13. We'll come back to that one. Oregon beats Colorado, blew them out of the water. Number 18, Oklahoma State lost big to to Kansas, 37-16. So that's a big loss there. A Big Ten loss, Illinois. They lose to Michigan State, 23-15. Opens up that West Conference for anybody to kind of take that. Except Northwestern. Penn State beats Indiana 50. So here's the thing. Penn State won 45-14 against Indiana. Indiana, you're coming to Ohio State. Good luck. Syracuse loses again to Pitt. UCF won. Let's see, where are we at?
We can talk about the big ones that lost.
Yeah, we're getting there. I kind of sipped over. Texas, they beat Kansas 34-27. The big losses, here we go. Notre Dame beats number 4 Clemson. 35-14.
Yes.
That's a dominating win. And, remember, if you think back to week 2, when Notre Dame lost to Marshall, everyone's like, oh, there goes Ohio State's strength schedule win against Notre Dame, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Notre Dame just beat Clemson handily.
Yes, sir.
And they beat Syracuse, too, didn't they?
Yeah. And then we will let's go to this one. Let's go to Tennessee, Georgia. Georgia dominates number 1 Tennessee 27-13. They took care of business there. Does Georgia jump to 1? Again, we'll find out in about 10 minutes now.
I think so.
So we'll find out.
I don't want Ohio State anymore.
Yeah, I think they will be.
I don't want that.
I think they will be. And then the one that I think is the best, only because, that's who I am. LSU at number 10, beating number 6 Alabama. Another loss for Alabama.
Yep.
Another loss for Bama. Yes, it was an overtime going for 2 situation for LSU to win. They did, though. They won it. That's all that matters. And now Alabama has to get ready to play Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss.
That was a gutsy call.
Yeah.
I love that call.
Me too.
That's what you play big time football for.
I'm not a huge fan of Brian Kelly.
Me neither.
I don't think any of
never
us
But
really
that was
liked
a
him.
good call.
LSU. Let's remember they're a blocked extra point away from beating Florida State,
Yep.
and now they beat Alabama. I mean, this team could be 6-1, 7-1 right now, ranked number 2, number 3. Luckily, they have the extra loss to Florida State. Now, with Alabama, they got to play Ole Miss this week. Then they got to play probably Bethune-Cookman before they play Auburn.
University of Phoenix Online.
One of those teams. They always play with a team in between. Ohio State does that too. The only difference is Ohio State does it at the very beginning of the season. That's the only difference. But heading into the Iron Bowl now, Alabama needs to win out. Saban needs to win out in order just to make the Orange Bowl or the Sugar Bowl.
I think they're out of
They're
the
in
top.
trouble.
They're not going to make the playoffs this year.
I don't think so either.
They're in trouble.
I don't, because now with 2 losses, from one from each division now.
Yeah.
Those are 2 conference losses, and if Georgia keeps winning, and if LSU keeps winning,
Yeah.
they're probably going to be in the Western.
Tennessee's there
They're
too.
going to be in the championship.
In the championship game.
SEC, yeah. And that's going to boost Bama out, and that's going to boost their chances. And then Ole Miss ain't going to lay it down.
No.
Ole Miss going to bring Kifflin going to bring the note.
Yeah,
Ole Miss is
Kiffin's
tough this year.
Kiffin's ready.
And it's against his old team.
Oh,
too.
his old coach. Yep. Like it's crazy. The fact that Lane Kiffin, he's ready. Like we talk about the 3 of us talk about beat Michigan week. This is Lane Kiffin's beat Bama week, and he's ready.
Yeah.
Like this is his big moment.
This is Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it may not be Ole Miss's Super Bowl, but it's his. It's his
Right,
personal,
right.
his personal vendetta here
Yeah.
against Saban and the Tide. Any other big games you guys? Let's see. Let's see who's coming up this week.
Any action on the night?
No. Imagine that. Ohio plays Miami of Ohio.
Tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
The Zips play tonight.
Yeah.
And about 5 minutes.
Akron plays Eastern Michigan.
About 5 minutes.
Is that a home game?
Home game.
You wanna
Right
go?
down the street.
We should
You want to go down to the stadium?
Down the street.
We could probably get tickets for like $3.
Hey, Marcus, we on our way.
Mizzou plays Tennessee. That's a big one. Purdue playing Illinois. Indiana playing. Go ahead.
I mean, because you said Tennessee. Now,
Yeah.
Tennessee got to win out to get back into this.
Oh, at least. I mean, and then you got to hope that Georgia loses a game, because if Georgia wins out, Tennessee's not going
done.
to
They
the
done.
championship
They
game.
done.
Yep.
And Georgia, like, say some of these other teams, like Florida State, for instance. I like Florida State. That's how I know this kind of stuff. Their last game of the year is against Florida, not a conference rival. Georgia's last game of the year is Georgia Tech, not a conference rival. So that takes an extra week away from these other teams in the SEC East. They're trying to catch up. They only have 2 more shots. If Georgia wins these next 2 games, they're in the SEC championship game.
Yep.
Oh.
Mizzou plays. So again, Mizzou plays Tennessee. Purdue plays Illinois. That could be a big game for the Western Conference there. Alabama plays Ole Miss. Nebraska plays Michigan at 3:30. Mind you, the Ohio State game is the noon kickoff game at home. Louisville plays Clemson. We do have a top 25 matchup as of right now, as UCF is set to play Tulane. Texas Christian, so TCU is set to play Texas. That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a good.
Yeah, UNC is
I
playing
think
Wake
that's going to
Forest.
be the game to decide if Texas Christian is really
Yeah.
ready
Right.
to step up, win the Big 12, be the number 4 seed, go their first ever playoff. And I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. TCU's only been a Division I Power 5 team for about 10 years now. When they had Andy Dalton,
Yeah,
They arrived.
And so they're
It took
keeping
them
it
a
going.
while to build the program. I mean, but they
Joining the Big 12 was what really helped them out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's a little bit of college football. College basketball started yesterday. Lots going on there. Ohio State with a big win over Robert Morris, 91-53. Okay, they kind of showed up. They're ready to go. What's that?
Practice.
Yeah, it kind of was practice for them. But we'll see what happens there. Chris, you want to go over some rankings? I know we talked about how the ranking system here.
I'll just go the top 10 here. We have UNC at number 1, Gonzaga, Houston, Kentucky. I mentioned this last week. Baylor and Kansas are 5.
It's the preseason. How do you have?
Duke is 7. UCLA 8. Creighton 9.
Wow.
Arkansas 10. The Indiana is the highest seed Big Ten team at 13. Other than that, the only other team in the Big Ten in the top 25 is Michigan at 22. And then Dayton, the only team in Ohio ranked at 24.
When has Duke ever came in not ranked 1 or 2?
Yeah, right. It's different, right? And Houston's in the top 3.
Now, isn't Krzyzewski's done, right? This is his first year gone.
Yeah.
He's done.
Who is their coach now?
I don't know.
Should be Grant Hill.
That's a
Probably
good
not.
question. Who is their coach? Man.
That's something we can look up for next week.
But it's the rest of the top 10, and most of the
Producer's looking it
25.
up. Producer's looking
He's got it.
Most of the top 25, it's the same old teams. You got Kansas, you have
Yeah.
Kentucky, you have North Carolina, you have Gonzaga,
You have Creighton.
you have Creighton. I love college basketball. I just find it so exciting, especially beginning of the season when you have all these tournaments. You have the Bahama tournament, you have the Maui tournament, the Big Ten ACC.
Atlantis
I'd rather
tournament.
go to the Maui.
No, it wouldn't. My favorite's always the Big Ten ACC Challenge. You have these teams that normally wouldn't play each other. Ohio State usually ends up playing
Yeah,
North
yeah.
Carolina
Or Duke.
or Duke.
I was at that game. When was this last year? When they stormed the court when we beat Duke last year, when Ohio State, I was there. Man, it was crazy.
Oh,
man.
I bet.
In the middle of the floor, they just stormed it. It was cool.
That's awesome. Oh, I think Ohio State, they're not ranked right now, but it's early. The season just started yesterday.
So John Shayer, I don't know if that's how you say it. He's their new coach, Duke's head coach. He's a former Duke All-American and a 2-time team captain. He is who took over at Duke as their new head coach, their 20th head coach.
Wow, it's gonna be strange what our coach Cam says.
So
It's gonna be hard.
yeah, it'll be different. But again, so that's fun that's kicking off. We're going to be doing a lot of coverage there, hopefully. So that'll be a good time. And then, we have the pros. We have a big upset with the Jets. Who would have thought the Jets, who, who beat the Browns in a minute, 32 seconds, 14 points. We're still not upset about that. But they take out the Bills this week. And, the Bills was everyone's, favorite team all of a sudden.
That was a great game.
And now the Jets, they're still winning games.
Well, I guess the big news from this whole game is what's going to happen with Josh Allen. How hurt is he? Is his shoulder going to be okay? Is he going to be ready in 2 weeks to play the Browns?
It's his elbow, and they said he's under. They're looking at it now, so he might not play. Which means we would see Case Keenum.
He took a lot of punishment.
You know who they play this week? Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, same situation with Miami. They're just coming off injuries with their quarterbacks. So if Miami gets pressure, if they hit Josh Allen the wrong way in the arm, do you put him back out there for this game, or do you save him for the Browns?
Nobody's scared of the Browns. That's the thing. Nobody's scared of the Browns. And yeah, they showed up Monday night against the Bengals, which was fantastic. They had a bye week to get ready for Miami, or not Miami. Who are they playing? Yeah, they're playing Miami this week. You threw me off when you said Bills. I was like, what? So yeah, they had the bye week to get ready for them. But again, no one's really scared of them yet because they haven't done what everyone thinks they should have been doing.
Well, they only got 3 more games. And then, of course, we all know what's going to happen. We get our quarterback in there. I don't know what our record's going to be. It can't be too good. We already have 5 losses. However,
Win out.
I mean, it would be nice. It'd be nice if they win these.
Do they go 12-5?
That's hard. Because we don't know what to expect. We don't know what kind of shape he's going to be in. We don't know how rusty he's going to be. And, God forbid anything else happen that prolongs this suspension or keeps this
Right.
going, because I feel like it's just We keep hearing
We're so
about.
close.
We're so close. Just want to get it over with, and I hate to have
Move
to.
on.
Yeah,
It's
move
over.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, they gotta let it go.
Yeah, it's time. It's been 2 years.
He served his punishment.
I agree.
Some of the other games in the NFL this past week, Philly takes out Houston. The Eagles are kind of a surprise team this year, too. Jalen Hurts tearing it up. The Chargers beating Atlanta. Miami beating Chicago. Another surprise team there. Cincinnati found it again after that.
Having a great year.
What's that?
Mr. Fields having a great
Yeah,
year.
Justin Fields. And now he's got some receivers to throw it to as well. The Bengals refound who they were against Carolina. Joe Mixon with 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
He
Crazy.
was tearing it up.
Green Bay. Talk about a team that everyone's like, what happened? Aaron Rodgers throwing 3 interceptions this week against Detroit. And then Detroit only won 15-9.
Yeah, it makes you wonder: is it Aaron Rodgers or is it the team around him? And you can only blame the team around you for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start having a game like this against the Lions, and they still almost won the game.
Yeah. And then we only got a couple minutes left here, so let's open this one up because I know it's probably going to take the whole entire time we got left, and that's the Indianapolis Colts firing Frank Reich, losing. The coach is already holding his tongue. Frank Reich getting ousted after 3 years in Indy. Coach, give me your thoughts on Indy's new hire here of Jeff Saturday.
This guy went from a desk to the war room. Now, if you're a coach, want to be a head coach, or if you're assistant coach on that team, that got to be a smack in the face. For them to pull a guy off of ESPN and pull him straight to the football field and expect you guys to perform this week, game preparation and everything else, what goes on throughout the week. That morale in the coach's room, that morale in the players' locker room, gotta be. I mean, it just gotta be off. It's like, this is what the owner think of us. This is how he feel of us. You know what I'm saying? That he's willing to take a guy from a desk who never coached. Yeah, he played for us at one particular time. Won a Super Bowl with us at one particular time. But this guy has no coaching experience at all. And you want this guy to be our leader.
Right, and like you said, Coach, taking the guy from the desk to the coaching room, it's been done before. We've seen guys like Urban Meyer. We've seen guys like Bill Parcells went back afterwards. Those guys have been coaches before. Those guys have been coaches for a long time, had a lot of success as coaches. Jeff Saturday was probably the best center in recent history.
Yeah.
Was center for one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Led his team to a Super Bowl, like you said, many good seasons. He knows about how to play. He knows about how to be a good offensive lineman. Does he know about things like making draft picks, scouting, putting up a game plan, calling plays? I don't know.
A game manager.
Or game management. And you, like you said, you had a whole room, you had a whole staff of guys who are familiar with that. Not just this season, but many seasons. And this is the best head coach hire you could do. It's shocking to me. It blows my mind. I don't know what to make sense of this. I guess they're just so desperate for a coach they hired the first person they saw. I don't know.
Yeah, and you said it. Jeff Saturday was a great player. He was great for them.
He was the best.
But he also has never been in a coaching position. And now, like Coach has said it too, you have these guys who have been there working all year for multiple years on the field, in the locker rooms, and now they're being told they're not good enough. And, does that motivate them? I don't know. But for me, that sounds like it's a big slap in the face for sure.
It reminds me of the scene in Draft Day where Dennis Levy burns the game plan. It's like this, all season we worked on this. Thanks. We'll just light it up.
It's sad, man. Speaking of coaches, what about the McDaniel situation with the Raiders?
Oh, God. How many games have they had a 17-point plus lead and lost?
3 in a row.
Like,
I mean, my thing is, I think he's a good position coach, and he's good under a good football head coach, good leader. But I don't think he's a good head coach. This is his second stunt, and from the looks of it, these guys don't want to play for him. He's trying to bring the New England vibe to the Raider vibe. And Raider is a mean, nasty, dirty type football.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two different type of football systems that you can't bring the New England system to the Raider system. If that makes sense.
Right, I totally agree.
It's just not fitting. He's like a choir boy, and you gotta release the street bikers, and he's trying to turn them into choir boys. And you can't do that. Raiders Nation that was a playoff team.
Yeah.
And
They definitely were ready for a playoff
He
team.
ruined it.
You're exactly right. They were ready for playoffs, and they are not looking anywhere near it at this point.
Now, so if let's say he gets fired this year,
Call me.
yeah, the Raiders, especially since moving to Vegas, it's all about who could bring the most fire, the most attention, and before that it was Gruden, and it's almost like they're not hiring a coach based on qualifications, or hiring a coach on what's going to make a splash,
Right.
and that's why they went after McDaniels, because I didn't think McDaniels was that good of a coach.
I mean, we're all sitting at a desk. You can call any one of us. I'll go in and be a head coach. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll come out retirement. I'm ready.
All right, so I was trying to draw it out a little bit so we can get the new rankings, but they haven't dropped yet. I'm looking for them. They have not dropped yet, but I think we're out of time for this evening. So I guess we'll have to post it or, check our socials once the rankings come out. Again, leave your comments. We're anxious to read them, have that feedback, and we'll check you out next week when we are ready for the I guess it's the regional finals next week, huh?
Yeah.
Regional final preview next week. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Go Cavs.
Yeah.